I saw firsthand when I was deployed. I wasn't married yet. I hadn't met my wife yet. Um, but I was deployed over in Okinawa, Japan for about a year and a half. And there were so many people who were married with kids and they were enlisted. So they were at a certain rank where they weren't allowed to bring their families over like you could if you were an officer or something. And this was before even the internet and all this stuff. So the ways to communicate were challenging. And to see the stresses on their lives being deployed away from their families. And then conversely, before I went to Okinawa, I was at Camp Pendleton, and I would see the other side. I would see Marines who were deployed around the world and their wives or their husbands. Usually it was the Marines were out and their wives would be left behind with kids, and yet they're still living on base. They're trying to connect with people. They're trying to keep it together. They're living as a single parent, and so you just have stresses all over the place. You have and it's typical across all of the military branches. It's the highest divorce rate in the country. I don't think that gets talked about enough. Because of that, we need to have this idea of mental health and counseling and resources, family centers, whatever we can do to help our service members and their families do well. It takes its toll. And again, it's one of those cultures where you are built to show strength, right? We have the greatest military in the world. If you are a member of the military, your job is to strike fear into the hearts of your enemy. You do that by projecting a massive level of strength. The downside of that is that behind the scenes, we're not allowing these same service members who are on the fighting lines to say, you know what, I'm not doing well today, or I'm having a hard time with my marriage, or whatever. That's not part of the culture. And I think we need to bring awareness to that too. And I think I may have mentioned it before, but I don't believe that is a sign of weakness at all. I think it will greatly increase our level of strength in our military. I think it will only help those military families. That brings them a greater level of stability and allows them to thrive in the way that they need to. We need to do whatever we can to make sure that our veterans and our fighting force are whole and healthy and ready to defend us as a country at a moment's notice.